The MOS of the 15th Quebec in the United States Army is an air traffic control operator. But before we dive into this MOS breakdown, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Even think about enabling notifications so you can join that notification platoon and get alerts as soon as new videos go live, to include the live streams. Now, let's talk about what a 15th Quebec does in the United States Army. So the job responsibilities of that 15th Quebec in the United States Army will include things like processing flight plans, controlling both air and ground traffic for an Army airfield, communicate with the Army pilots, and much more. These individuals are working in your air traffic control tower, working with radars, working with the radio systems, and a lot of other equipment that basically try to keep it safe to make sure that, pilots know where to land, when not to land, where not to fly so they don't run into each other, all that kind of stuff to kind of keep control of the airspace. This MOS is available for enlisted soldiers looking to go active duty, National Guard, as well as reserves. To qualify for this MOS, you're going to have either a high school diploma or a GED, as well as take the ASVAB. From that ASVAB, you are going to have to receive a qualifying AFQT score to get you into the United States Army, but specifically they're going to be looking at the skilled technical section of the ASVAB, where you must at least score a 101 in that specific section. The training for this MOS will include the normal 10 weeks of basic training, and from there a soldier will move on to Fort Rucker, Alabama for 17 weeks of AIT. Now, I did see that this actually does require a special physical similar to what pilots have to go through, even though these individuals aren't flying any aircrafts, but they want to make sure things like, you don't have some kind of sleeping disorder to where you can fall asleep at the air traffic control center, any kind of heart condition. You also need to have good color vision. You can't have any kind of color blindness to qualify for this MOS, and several other kind of physical qualifications that you must meet to make sure that you're fit for this position. Now, individuals are usually curious as to what duty stations can I get with this MOS, and really as long as the Army installation has an airfield, then it probably qualifies for that. You're going to be working with helicopters because that's primarily what the Army uses, is the rotary wing, not the fixed wing or the airplanes like the Air Force does. Maybe you could be doing some joint stuff with Air Force, but I'm pretty sure you're primarily sticking to the Army aircrafts, which is primarily those rotary wing or helicopters like your UH-60s and your Apaches. Also, kind of a key thing to note with this MOS is this is not going to be one of those MOSs if you're looking for just your basic Monday through Friday, doing PT in the morning, going to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then getting off at like 5 or something like that. This is probably not going to be one of those jobs, because this is the type of thing where you probably need 24-hour operations in most cases. So this is probably going to be shift work, where you may be working the morning shift, you may be working the night shift. It really just depends on kind of where you fall in, so that they have 24-hour coverage at that flight line area, at that airfield, to man the towers. These individuals do go to the field. They also do deployments and everything like that. So they have like mobile air traffic control centers that they can set up out in the field to kind of work in a remote location, or you're working on the airfield, or if you're deployed, maybe you're working at an airfield there, or you're just kind of setting up some kind of airfield. This is definitely one of those MOSs where you do have a job, even if you're deployed or not deployed. You're not just kind of stuck just sweeping the motor pool all the time like certain MOSs may be, or having to do training all the time. So this is probably an MOS that you'd be fairly busy with doing, and doing work all the time. Now, as far as transitioning out of the military, if you don't plan on staying in for 20 plus years or whatever, and you want to kind of transfer these skills over to the civilian side, well, this can easily transfer over to working at an airport or something like that. There are a lot of certifications that you can receive while doing this MOS in the United States Army that'll really help in your training to transition into air traffic control on the civilian side. There's also like civilian jobs working at an Army airfield, so you could even just simply transition to the civilian side, kind of doing the same thing at just another Army installation at the airfield there. Now, if you have any individuals that are watching this video that are currently in the United States Army, or maybe some veterans that were in this MOS, make sure to leave some comments down below. What did you like about the MOS? What did you not like about the MOS? Help out some of those individuals looking to join the Army and potentially come in the Army as a air traffic control operator. So there you go, that's the basic breakdown of the 15th Quebec MOS in the United States Army. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching. I'm ThatChrisChaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya.